Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the Ace Racing League Silverstone Grand Prix. I'm your host, Samad Halafi, and today we'll be racing at Silverstone, one of the most iconic racetracks around the world. The length is 5,891 meters, or around 3,661 yards, or 3.661 miles. It has 18 turns. The lap record here in a Formula One car in 1 minute 30.6 is held by Lewis Hamilton back in 2017. And now we'll be going over the championship standings right now. Vladislav Muchlienko in P1 has 158 points. Stijn Prins in 122 points at P2. David Lelts, P3 at 198 points. P4 goes to Maxim Badidi at 58 points. P5 to Imran Shaikh at 43. Arnaud de Zwart at 37 points comes along in P6. Noah Schneider, who had a bit of a difficult last race at Vallelunga, had 29 points and is locked at P7. Maybe he can improve this Grand Prix. Lodewijk Barquin has 27 points and comes along at P8. Step Unique comes along with 18 points over to P9. And closing off the top 10 is Alex Blanquet at 12 points in P10. A great start for the newcomer Alex Blanquet to get a lovely spot at P10, who had an amazing race last at Vallelunga. Ruben Martinez at 12 points comes along in P11. Luca Den Hartog comes at 10 points in P12. Right next to him, or right behind him I should say, is Niklai Nagelveld at 10 points as well at P13. Bart at 9 points in P14. Tom Chassing at 8 points in P15. Amin Zaer at 6 points comes along in P17. Brandon Kruger comes along right next to Tom Chassing, also at 6 points in P17. Jeff Jacobs, who had an amazing Vallelunga race, but it didn't go quite well at the end, has 6 points and comes along at the very bottom at P18. Maybe he can improve this Grand Prix. Now we go over to practicing. Kun je scherm delen? Kunnen ze me horen? Here we see Niklai Nagelveld coming along right now in the new cars. If we can get a bit of information about the new cars, that would be great. Hang on. We'll ask for Race Command to send us some information about these new cars, because as you can see, we've done some upgrades to our league and getting some new cars around here. Google. Sadly, we are unable to find any information about the new cars. But these are an upgrade from the F312 Dalaras from before. And these cars are actually having DRS installed into them. They look more futuristic, have way more aerodynamic capability. According to some of our few staff drivers, they are much more difficult to handle, so we can actually assume that this will give us more wheel-to-wheel racing. The beautiful part about this car and about this race as well is that everybody sent in their skins earlier. We can see here Sneaky Panda with a quite interesting livery. Just listen to that noise. This is a Renault V6, if I'm not mistaken. A big upgrade from the old engines before, which just sounded like a blender coming along. But this car really does sound nice. And if you could not, and if you have the same opinion as me, sound better than the current Formula 1 drive cars. On board now is Sneaky Panda coming along to Maggots. This is a very difficult part of the track. Exiting Chapel. This is a long straight on the Hanger Straight. DRS opens and closes up right now. Spit off fire, brakes very hard into Stowe of P15. Steinprinz tops the board at practice with a 1 minute 47.96. Sneaky Panda, is it going to improve anywhere close to that? No, but does get close to Steinprinz with only almost a second difference. I think that's 900ths of a second, as close as possible. Steinprinz, here he is with a beautiful livery on his car. DRS closes very hard on the beautiful livery on that car. I just have to reimagine this track in my head so I can see where he is right now. I think he's exiting club at turn 18. The annoying part about Silverstone is that they have 2 pit straights. Because usually it's one or the other because the track changed over the years, but we are now adapting to the Formula 1 track as they would use normally. Ooh, Steinprinz coming along very hard on the curbs and almost getting on the cross, loses control almost indefinitely. As you can see here, these cars are very difficult to handle. Vladislav Mochilienko goes along for a 1 minute 46.849. My God, every bloody time Vladislav Mochilienko just shatters the competition, does he? But he did have a very difficult last race at Vallelunga, which was a big surprise to us all at Ace Racing. Steinprinz took the win actually, but right behind him was Vladislav Michilienko, who did an unbelievable charge through the entire field. Ooh, a driver almost getting along into the curb, but I think that was just some internet lag. Following Vladislav Michilienko with a beautiful livery on his car as well. I think that looks like a McLaren that's right behind him, but he just comes. DRS opens, as you can see right here. This is the first image of our Ace Racing League where the DRS is enabled, and you can see it right there. Closes up and the car's just shaking everywhere. You can see Vladislav Michilienko himself, the championship leader, having a lot of difficulty trying to keep up with the car's capability. I think he's just trying to warm up his tires a bit more. You can see the brakes actually glowing from the heat. This is some very... Ooh, gets a tank slapper and he is off. He'll be respawning at the pits, as you can see, in 3, 2, 1. Or either he might continue with racing. I don't know. Now, Jack Smith, the newcomer, who is up for a new flying lap. You can see the other... Oh, someone has gone off. Maybe because of someone... the first car you just saw go to the side there was a very gentleman driver giving Jack Smith some place there to just give him some capability of having a better practice round. quite an interesting livery on his car as well, because the colors are very, less, I think I should say, very attention grabbing. You can see the actual car struggling and bending into the corners. You can see that there is much more eye for detail in this car, in these cars. Ooh, he just improved on his first sector. Very hard into the right-hander. Braking very hard into the arena corner. And goes along into the chicane. Trying to grab as much speed as possible. Goes along onto the main strip. What's it going to be? Is Jack Smith going to properly top the boards? Yes, he does! Jack Smith just gets the first position in practice in a 1 minute 46.343. That is unbelievable. I think we're going to see a beautiful race with Jack Smith, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautifully done. Normally we don't see someone even getting close to Vladislav Uchilienko, except for Stijn Prins and David Lels or Maxim Badidi or Imran Shahir for that matter. But Jack Smith just gets provisional pole in practice. You can see here that they only differ with, if I'm doing some rough maths, around 4/10 of a second. Stijn Prins is almost a second slower than these other drivers. Luca Den Hartog in P4. What a brilliant drive from the newcomer with an action livery on his car. In an initial D as well. This man is going right at it. What a beautiful livery. I hope he does not do the exact same thing as initial D with drifting all around, because these cars require a lot of grip to go fast. He goes on the curb very hard, but I think he'll have to do another flying lap to improve his time as well. 2 minutes left of practice. See Stijn Prins trying his very best to at least improve his last few seconds of his practice round. Coming along now to the final few turns. He's up at club, turn 18, goes very long right-hander, comes along onto the curbs. Is he going to improve his lap time? Is he going to get close to them? No, 1.5 seconds off the pace in P3, but still. Stijn Prins could probably change some racing in the race itself. Noah Schneider. But I don't think he will... Noah Schneider is right now at P6. With a 3.36, and he has stopped, probably because practice is stopping in 5 seconds right now, and afterwards we'll be going. And we will be going right now to interviews. Stijn, you just did your practice round and you were in P...
I'm pretty much in my practice lap, yeah.
Oh, you're right now still in your practice lap?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me
never
very
mind,
much.
I kind of fucked up.
That's alright. Well, Stijn, you were in P3. You were struggling to find any last few seconds or like
Sorry,
tenths of
man.
a second.
I really wait. I'll just stop the car.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, it's all right. You're in P3 right now, and it's we're able to see you were struggling to find any grip in the car and shave
Yeah.
off some
True.
few tenths of of your time.
Yeah.
Is it because you're adapting to the new car? Is it difficult to drive?
Yeah. Well, I'm in my final, so I haven't really been able to really get used to the car. But yeah. I mean, I was on a 4/10 improvement, so I can get pretty close. Not. Yeah. Not close enough though. But
All right.
I can try to hold on to this position. That's all I can do, I guess.
Do you think you'll improve your position in racing?
Yeah, my race pace is mostly pretty okay, so yeah, I guess that's possible.
Right then. Well, Stein, I wish you the best of luck in your finals because
Thank
I
you.
am having them as well.
Yeah,
uh,
good luck, man.
and good luck in the race as well in qualifying.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've seen it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We had a bit of a trouble with our stream. We can see the drivers here trying to get as much temperature in these tires, and oh, and we see someone who has spun. It's probably David Beckham, as it says on the screen. No, it's not. It's Luca Den Hartog, ladies and gentlemen, who has spun on the opening leg of the qualifying. Rather than Formula One, who have just some elimination qualifying, as you would say, drivers here just go at their fullest and hardest to at least improve every little tenth of a second. We just saw a car over there just locking up a bit. David Beckham coming along now on his opening lap, on his flying lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix. Very hard into the right-hander, trying to find as much grip as possible. You can see these cars just spitting flame everywhere, just like a actual 2018 Formula 3 car. Ooh, someone has gone off. On board now with Mahia Batista on his outlap. He's just exited Abbey and coming along now into turn. We are unable to see where is what. We are looking now at the Megas and Beckers complex. Oh, and he has a tank slapper and he is off. I think we'll be respawning at the pits any moment now, or we will just resume everything and just keep going. Nicolai Nageveld, the newcomer who has had a beautiful Vallelunga Grand Prix, probably is going to go in for a beautiful position. Jack Smith at 1 minute 46.561. What a beautiful qualifying he has right now. Could this be in the final stages of this qualifying that we might see a jump and see a newcomer actually beating the reigning, the championship leader Vladislav Mushilienko? Aboard now with Nicolai Nageveld, who is not going to get anywhere close apparently to the top positions, but I think it's just an opening lap and he must have turned wrong somewhere. Ruben Martinez, who has spun and is about to probably respawn at the pits at any moment now, or is he just going to continue and try his luck next time at the next lap? I think I'll just pronounce that name as Espanol and assume that he is Spanish. Maxim Baridi in P3 at a 1 minute 47.567. This could be a very, very amazing Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Silverstone always houses one of the greatest races of all time, as we have seen in 2018, 2017, 16, and so forth. Silverstone never disappoints. Ooh, Espanol was getting a tank slapper over there, but beautifully catches it back on and continues with his qualifying. I think he will have to redo his lap in order to get rid of those few tenths. Going very wide over there. Not the most optimal place to be when you're trying to exit a corner. Espanol does do quite well, as he is in P9. Stein Prince all the way back in P10, but that is... Ooh, you can see these brakes glowing. But back to Stein Prince in P10. I think he must have done a wrong qualifying and spun somewhere. But I think we'll see a big jump from Stein Prince. Ooh, and a bit of contact over there, and someone has spun round. If we could go on board with Stein Prince, that would be very beautiful. Here we see Stein Prince just getting onto the final stages of the track. Spit of flame as he exits those few corners. He's getting a beautiful feedback of his car. I think he's just getting very close to every part that he wants to, every corner he wants to be at. Outside right now as his DRS closes right now, very hard on the brakes, and he just turns in as much power as possible. Tries to exit that final corner right there. And here with an onboard view, if we could see an exit view over there of the few last chicanes, he's trying to exit that corner as much as possible. Comes along at club right now, full power. Is he going to improve on his lap time? Yes, he does, but by what? He is all the way in P5, ladies and gentlemen. Stein Prince in P5, only 0.98 seconds off of the provisional pole holders Jack Smith. And you can see a car over there who has spun around on the track. Is he going to hit Stein Prince? No, he does not. Every time before we have a new race, I'd like to practice on F1 2018 to have a feel and know where everything is on this track. But right now on board on Vladislav Mushilienko, who just exits Abbey flat out. Very hard on his brakes as he turns into turn 3 at Arena. You can see he throws his car into every corner as he does. In turn 4 as he exits turn 5, as he goes over there, opens DRS on the long Brooklyn straight. As he turns very hard into the chicane of Brooklyn at turn 6, and then in Luffield at turn 7. Very hard on the power now as he charges up to turn 8 Woodcote. Funny thing is, though, I used to live in England, and the exact same street where I used to live in Swansea was called Woodcote. So, bit of a flashback of me right there. Don't worry, they were good memories. Vladislav Muchlienko going over the curbs over there. What is wrong with the championship leader? Into Maggots and Beckett's with his done flat out, and here is the part where he just has to brake and find the grip as much as possible. Almost gets on the grass, but still holds it very beautifully done onto the hanger straight, where he is. DRS has opened up as far as possible, but he's going to have a brake very hard into turn 15 at Stowe. Going along for a small straight afterwards into turn 16 of Vale. Very hard on the brakes indeed. Right, left-hander followed by a long right-hander at turn 17 called Club. As he exits turn 18, is he going to improve on his lap time and probably take the provisional pole? Yes, he does. Ladies and gentlemen, we have still 5.5 minutes left of qualifying. Who is that second pole position holder? Let me see. It doesn't say on my standings card, but it's Jeff Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen, from the Vallelunga Grand Prix, who has done an absolute great job in P2, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful driver this man is. He was down close to the 10s just a few minutes ago, but he is up into P2. I think we'll see one hell of a chance through the field on the podium stops between Jack Smith, Jeff Jacobs, and Vladislav Michlienko. Excuse me, I had to refresh my throat. That is what he said, obviously. Bit of humour into the racing as well. Opens up DRS as he turns very hard into the right-hander. As he comes to turn 5 at Arena on the very long left-hander. This was the place where Sebastian Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen and Lewis Hamilton were charging for one of the greatest races of 2018. I assure you, people were cheering everywhere when that safety car came out after the incident. I think we'll back to Jack Smith in his beautiful car, as we just seen before, in a trying to at least improve on his lap times and beat the pole position holder, Vladislav Muchlienko. Oh dear, he is in his first sector. He's only 0.271 seconds off the pace. We will see one hell of a race. Still 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of qualifying. Maybe Jack Smith will improve at least on his few final sectors. Into the long straight, into Maggots and Beckett's at turn 10, turn 11, turn 12, turn 13 on a very... You have to be very precise on your brakes, because if you brake in a turn too hard, you will just spin, understeer, then oversteer, and just spin all over the place. In the second sector is only 0.123 seconds off the pace. Maybe we'll see some improvements into turn 15 at Stowe. Very long right-hander, which opens up into a small left-hander, which then comes into Vale. Very hard onto the brakes into the pit straight, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Smith is pitting. We might see some improvement on his lap time as he gets some new rubber on those tires. Jack Smith just took provisional pole position, ladies and gentlemen, in a 1 minute 45.735. What a beautiful comeback just Jeff Jacobs have. Oh my god, and he just hits that unbelievable high curb and just still manages to catch on. Jeff Jacobs, seriously, I have never seen someone as the top 4 drivers right now, as talented as they are. They are really going for it. Oh, and as you could I think I've just received some more information about these cars. They are Formula 3 RSS V6 engines. I was right about the Renault engines, but still, it's a Renault, so you might never know when they break down. Mm-hmm. 1 minute left of qualifying. Jeff Jacobs, as you can see right here, trying to improve his very last bits of qualifying as he exits Maggots and Beckett's onto the very long hanger straight. Is he going to beat those last 50 seconds? I think he will. Very hard onto the brakes in Stowe as he goes through the right-hander over there. The chicane of the axis of Stowe as he enters Vale at turn 16, goes along into the left-hander, opens up into Club at turn 17 and 18. Is he going to improve his lap time? No, he does not, ladies and gentlemen, but still holds the provisional pole. Is he probably going to be taken by Vladislav Micheliak, who's trying his very best to at least? No, he does not. His second sector is 0.056 seconds off the pace. If we can go to Jack Smith right now in the last 10 seconds of qualifying. No, Jack Smith in his last sector still goes for 0.234 seconds off the pace. Muchlienko probably is going to improve on his lap time as we exit the final few turns of the Silverstone Grand Prix. Is he going to do it? Is he take? He does take provisional. He does take pole position from Jeff Jacobs, and leads on to take pole position on the very last few corners and the last few seconds of qualifying at the Ace Racing League Silverstone Grand Prix. What? Right. That was qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. I was so surprised to see the final take of pole position. We'll see you in a few minutes at the race. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 55 seconds left of the Ace Racing League Silverstone Grand Prix. on pole position. And the very last end, we see Vladislav Michulienko right behind him. We see Jeff Jacobs with a beautiful lap, as we still should say. Right behind him with Jack Smith in P3. P4 goes to Stein Prince, the second place holder in the championship. God only knows what will happen on this race. You can see the drivers trying to find any problems with their cars, or at least find some adjustment for their comfortableness, and at least probably get the win. 4 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. Lights out, and away we go. Vladislav Michulienko has a beautiful start right behind him. Jeff Jacobs trying to stay in the slipstream as they enter both into turn 1 at Abbey. Opening up into the parabolic of turn 2 at Farm. Right behind him goes the second place holder trying to go through the outside. No, he does not. We are going to have a safety car, as I been informed by race control. Some drivers in the back have gone off. We'll probably be having a safety car any minute now. You can see the drivers trying to at least find any positions left at before the safety car is engaged. On board now with Vladislav Michulienko, who's dropped down to P3, ladies and gentlemen, because he went off at the beginning. Here we can see the virtual safety car has been engaged, and the drivers try to keep the heat in their tires for maximum grip. I've just been informed that at the end of this lap, the virtual safety car will be ended. We've just been informed that the safety car will be ended at the end of this lap. We can see there's a huge change in the standings. Jeff Jacobs in P1, Stein Prince in P2, who was all the way back at P4, Vladislav Michulienko in P3, Maxim Badidi in P5, and Nikolai Nageveld in P6. You see also some drivers trying to enter the pits. And we are back racing, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Jacobs trying to lead and stay far away from the other drivers as much as possible, trying to build as much lead as possible. He's only half a second away from Stein Prince as they exit that corner at turn 5, I imagine. I think. I am so bloody sorry that was not the end of the virtual safety car. I can hear there is some technical difficulty with the race control and the drivers not receiving any microphone index information. Our race control is doing their very best to at least inform the other drivers that the and the start finish that that is the end of the virtual safety car. Jeff Jacobs had If Jeff Jacobs had to look into his rear view mirrors, that would be one hell of a view. And a very scary one as well, because he has an entire grid of amazing drivers right behind him trying to grasp that first position of him. And we are racing again. That is the end of the virtual safety car. Jeff Jacobs still leading the race, with Steinprinz still only 0.3 seconds right behind him. Very good reaction timing of the young Dutchman. Trying to stay as close as possible to Jeff Jacobs, trying to probably go through the outside over there, but still, they are very close to each other. And Vladislav Mychlienko very close behind Steinprinz, and probably just trying to pressure him as well. All the drivers behind him are having DRS because they are within 1 second of him. And he goes through there, and he is through the outside, trying to go through the outside of Jeff Jacobs, but he still manages to hang on. Maybe in through the right-handed, Steinprinz will have the later braking, but they almost get contact. You can fit a cigarette paper between them. Not to forget Vladislav Mychlienko going through 3 wide over the old start finish over there. And it is Steinprinz who goes along away. We can see that Jeff Jacobs has just gone wide. It's now between Steinprinz and Vladislav Mychlienko. These very two talented drivers. Jeff Jacobs has dropped down to P3. Right behind him, challenged by the other drivers of Maxim Badidi. And we can see some information about the other driver. Still very close to him on the outside, probably going through there with the DRS overtake. It's David Beckham, ladies and gentlemen, takes that 5th position of Maxim Badidi. Excuse me very much over there. Excuse me very much, he goes into the P4. We can see that there is a lot of changing at the front of the race between Vladislav Mychlienko and Steinprinz. If we could keep up between them. Vladislav Mychlienko still takes the fastest lap in between them. A lot of new lap changes over there. Steinprinz trying to stay as close as possible to Vladislav Mychlienko. These new cars, a big lock-up from Steinprinz and Jack Smith. Trying to stay as close as possible between the 2 other top drivers. You can see now the DRS is opening up for Steinprinz, and right behind him is Jeff Jacobs, trying to stay as close as possible. On board now with Jeff Jacobs, who's trying to stay as close as possible to Steinprinz, and he goes through the right-hander of, I think that is, gets a small tank slapper. But still very brave to still keep that car under control. Onto the old pit straight of the Silverstone track, as these drivers try to do their immense best. He's coming along now into Maggots and Beckett, trying to stay as long as possible on the powered brake, as late as possible to stay close to Steinprinz. But Jeff Jacobs is not planning on giving up on this race. He still has a lot on his hands to stay close to them. Jack Smith sadly has dropped back all the way to P13. What has happened to the second pole holder? To the P2 in the qualifying holder. Dropped down all the way to the back. Ooh, a lock up from Steinprinz. I think he's being pressured by Jeff Jacobs. Vladislav Mychlienko over there, almost getting a tank slapper. As we can see here, Vladislav Mychlienko has done the fastest lap of this race, and he is on trying to stay as far away as possible of the rest of the field. But we can see here on the lap, on the timing board, that it's getting quite close between Jeff Jacobs and Steinprinz. If we can see some footage of that. Right there. Jeff Jacobs trying to stay as close as possible. His DRS is open. He's going to go through the outside of turn. Bloody hell, what is it? I have no idea. I am too excited for this race. Onto the right-hander, where Sebastian Vettel last year overtook Valtteri Bottas, but Jeff Jacobs takes P2 from Steinprinz, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful, beautiful overtake right there. On board now with David Beckham, and he overtakes Steinprinz. But Steinprinz, as you can see in the rearview mirror, stays as close as possible to David Beckham, and not giving up on him. Maxim Baridi trying to join in on the fight as well, going along into the right-hander and back into the left-hander of Mackets and Backets. It's a train right there. What a beautifully done follow-up over there as they exit into Chapel onto the Hangar Straight. They are going 2 wide, 3 wide over there. Are we going to see some overtaking over there? No! But still trying to stay as close as possible. And there's contact! Maxim Benini goes along and takes P3 from Stein Prince and David Beckham. Oh my word! Maxim Benini onto the podium position of P3. Oh my word! Stein Prince has a lot on his hand to stay as close to the other drivers as well. But I think he's going to be pressured. Jeff Jacobs takes the fastest lap of the race as well. I think it's not done. He's trying to come as close as possible to Vladislav Muchilienko. And there's contact over there. Oh my word. Between who's that? My screen has just gone black of the excitement. It's Stein Prince. Oh no. Excuse me. They have the same livery, but it's Hassel. What a contact over there. That was inevitable. That was inevitable, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a terrible incident of the race. Jack on board with Jack Smith, who was in P13 just a few laps ago and is on to P7. Does a beautiful overtake. I think we're not done yet with Jack Smith, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll see him probably close to the podium and probably a battle for the win of this Grand Prix. Back now to Mahai Badita, trying to stay as close as possible to the driver in front of him. I think we just have to get some information off there, and that was beautifully done through the outside. What an amazing overtake, coming along onto the curbs, but he is still trying to hold on very badly. Onto the right-hand side, goes for the inside. Is he going to go for the overtake? Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen. But we're probably going to see some overtaking over there. Don over the hangar, over the Brooklyn Straight. No! Mahim Batia, what a very difficult name to pronounce. Still takes the position in front of him, and a driver, Espanyol, right behind him, trying to stay as close as possible. Vladislav Muchilienko makes the fastest lap of the race. That's very close to his qualifying lap, if I have to say. Ooh, trying to go for the very right hand through the right-hander, but still makes it very difficult for the other drivers to stay close to him. Luca Den Hartog in P13 trying to get close to the pack in front and do some overtaking by himself. Oh my god, and it is Hassel Verheyen. Ladies and gentlemen, Hassel has gone off. Hassel has gone off. He made a terrible spin over there. He is in P14. But Luca Den Hartog trying to go through the outside. I have to say that he has to yield and give the position to the front driver, as he just went off over there, and as he does, otherwise he would have been penalized for that. Back now to David Beckham and Stein Prince as they come along now for a battle of P3. I think we're going to see some overtaking done by the DRS zone. Just listen to that noise of the engines. Much more improvement of the old cars. And I have to say, these cars give up for much more better racing. 15 laps left of the Silverstone Grand Prix. But still a lot of excitement still ahead of us. DRS opens for the driver of David Beckham. Is he going to do an overtake or at least come as close as possible to Stein Prince in front of him? No, he does not, but still makes up for a beautiful close-up on the Stein Prince, the second place holder in the championship. David Beckham in P4. Jeff Jacobs takes the fastest lap of the race and is coming closer to Vladislav Muchilienko by the lap. Maybe we'll see a battle for the win at the almost end of the Grand Prix. Jack Smith is back to P5, ladies and gentlemen. The driver who was all the way back through contact on the first lap is in P5. What a beautiful charge through the field. And Jeff Jacobs in P2. We can see that David Beckham and Stan Prince are still trying to have a battle of themselves. If we could go over to them. You can see these two drivers coming closer by the second. I think we'll see some overtaking done by the... Oh my god! Stan Prince has come off. He had a tank slapper. David Beckham takes the position of him. What has gone wrong with Stan Prince? He struggled in practice. He struggled in qualifying. And is also struggling in the race. I think he still has to adapt to this car. Into Maggots and Backets. Oh my god, you can see him oversteering coming out of turn 13. What a tragedy for the young Dutchman. Ruben Martinez into P10, trying to get as close as possible to the driver in front of him. You can see some information about the name of the other driver, that would be pleased, but he's coming closer. Sneaky Panda, that is, but he's coming closer through his DRS. He's going to go through the outside of the end of the hangar straight into the P15 onto turn Stove. And he does, ladies and gentlemen, takes along P9. And goes along into the point, but Sneaky Panda is not done with him, trying to stay as close as possible. Oh my word, he has done a mistake over there, but still manages to stay in front of Sneaky Panda. Ruben Martinez stays along and goes further, but I think he's going to have some overtaking done right now because he's right close to him in the slipstream. Into the right-hander, into the left-hander, at the exit of Abbey, and they go into the right-hander into turn 3, going further into turn 4. These two drivers have a lot on their hands if they want to still at least stay within the points. Oh my word! He just goes along through the outside. But there's another driver right behind him. If we could see some outside footage right there, that is, if we could see some information about him, that is Mahia Badita. Mahai Badita. Let's just call him Badita, but he's right close to him on the slipstream. He's going to go through the inside. Is he going to do it? You could fit a cigarette paper between them. No, he does not, but bloody hell, he just went off. Sneaky Panda has went off the track as they go into Maggots and Backets. Jack Smith into P4, coming as close as possible to David Beckham in front of him. I think we're going to see some overtaking done right now. There is no DRS on this straight, but probably afterwards into turn 1. Jack Smith has just done the fastest lap. I think we're going to see some overtaking done any minute now. It's probably going to be a DRS overtake. Here they come at the Brooklyn Straight as they go charging up through the field. It's within a second of him, but he's not going to come close for an overtake, but he does get closer to the driver in front of him, David Beckham. He has a lot on his hands, going very hard onto the right hand. He just throws that car into there to get some grip and find some level of downforce on his car. He's very close to him on the slipstream. He's going to go through the inside. Is he going to do it? No, he does not. He's not close enough, ladies and gentlemen. But he's still trying to do his very best into Cops as they go into Maggots and Backets. He's coming. They're almost side by side. Only 0.2 seconds, 0.2 of a second between them. He goes over the curbs, David Beckham, but he is not going to. He's yielding, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Smith takes P3 and goes along into the podium. David Beckham has just gone off into the gravel and has lost that P3 position, but still beautifully held. Luca Donharter back in P10, but still has DRS open as they go very hard to the right-hander at turn 9 at Cops. Oh my word, Sneaky Panda has just went off into the gravel, and Luca Donharter takes P9 from Sneaky Panda as he goes into Maggots and Backets. Ooh, that was very fast between there. There was a lot of understeer, so Sneaky Panda is probably going to overtake him at the hangar straight. as the DRS opens for Sneaky Panda. He's coming closer by the second. It's going to be a lot of braking done right there between the two drivers. I think that's Luca Den Hartog pitting, coming in for some new fresh rubber. Back on board with Jack Smith, who is coming closer by the second, but he's only 15 seconds off of Vladislav Michelienko. He has a lot on his hands if he wants to get closer to Vladislav. Klein Nagelvold into the pits as he comes out right now. Remember, these drivers do not have an entire strategy team behind them. They have to decide at the moment if they need to pit and if it's the best option for them. Badita just pitted in P14 as he exits and take that position in the pits. As he exits the pits and is coming on now into turn 2. With a beautiful Charles Leclerc livery of what Charles Leclerc had back in 2017 in his Formula 2 career. Back to Vladislav Michelienko, who's coming closer to Stijn Prince by the second, and he's also charged from behind him. Oh my word, Stijn Prince has just gone into the pits. But we have to remember that Vladislav Michelienko also has to pit at any moment now. Get some fresh rubber on his tires. Back to Hasselverheijen into Maggots and Baggets as he goes. He's trying to get as close as possible to the driver in front of him. I think that's Luca Den Hartog. Yes, it is. As they go over into the hangar straight. Like I said in qualifying and practice, Silverstone never disappoints with the excitement of a race. You can see drivers trying their absolute best to decide when to pit and when it's appropriate for them. Mission Spinow, wow, what a name, has just entered the pits as well. I hope he spins, and as a Ferrari lover and a Sebastian Vettel fan, I really hate that name as it grinds my gears a lot, but I hope this driver at least can put in some beautiful racing of this Grand Prix. Hasselverheijen just entered the pits as well. Jeff Jacobs still holding strong in P1, trying to build as much lead as possible. See that Jeff Jacobs is trying his absolute best to stay in front of the other drivers of Vladislav Michelienko, who is only 12 seconds off their pace. What kind of a lead has Jeff Jacobs just built for him? What a beautiful drive. Because he knows that Vladislav Michelienko is a driver not to be reckoned with. If we can come now to Hasselverheijen, and in front of him we have... who is that? I think that's Ruben Martinez has just went off. He has gone off, ladies and gentlemen. He just went into the gravel. Sadly, we do not have any replay of that. But Ruben Martinez just went off. Luca Den Hartog in P10 trying to stay as close as possible to the driver in front of him because he wants that P9 position of him. As they're coming on now into the last few corners, exiting no idea what turn that is due to the fact that I am not that familiar with Silverstone. Oh, it's the end of the old pit straight. As they go into the long right-hander, into Kops. I think Luca Den Hartog trying to stay as close as possible. I think who just went off there? That's Sneaky Panda, ladies and gentlemen. He just went off, and he has dropped down back to P10. Luca Den Hartog and Nicolai Nageveld just overtook Sneaky Panda as they're coming on at the end of the hangar straight, I assume. Coming along now into turn 15 at the end of Stowe. Very hard on the brakes. Is he going to go through the outside? No, he does not, but still manages to stay close to Nicolai Nageveld as he goes along now on very hard on the power. Luca Den Hartog gets closer by the second to Nicolai Nageveld as they exit turn 1 into turn 2 at Abbey. Bit of a lockup of one of the drivers over there. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the map of the race as they go under a very long, very sharp left-hander. I'd like to inform the viewers of this Grand Prix to please subscribe to our channel. I think we've just seen an overtake over there. My screen has just gone black. Excuse me for that. We're back online. Luca Den Hartog wanted to go for the overtake, but still manages to stay in front of Nicolai. Nicolai Nageveld manages to stay in front of Luca Den Hartog, but he's coming closer by the second because he has the slipstream. Oh, he's on the grass and he's just gone off. But they still manage to stay at the same positions. They're coming very close to each other right now into Magnus and Beckett. Who's going to have the better line? Who's going to have the better power? Who's going to have the better braking into the last corner, turn 13? As they exit turn 14, we'll probably see an overtake by the DRS, and the DRS opens right now for Luca Den Hartog. Is he going to go through the outside? Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful overtake, as smooth as possible. And Luca Den Hartog goes along into P8. But still, Sneaky Panda and P13 trying to stay as close as possible to the driver in front of him. They're only less than a second behind him. I think we're going to see some overtaking done at the end of Magnus and Beckett's. You can see the car spitting the flames of power at the end of the exhaust. Sadly, there is no DRS for Sneaky Panda as he is more than a second away from the driver in front of him. Very hard onto the brakes, as you can see them glowing into the left-hander right there. Back to Nicolai Nageveld and Luca Den Hartog. They probably just changed positions right there when we weren't looking. Back to the championship, back to the first position between Vladislav Michelienko and Jeff Jacobs. Vladislav Michelienko has cleared almost 15 seconds into the last few corners. Here we can see some visor view of him back on board with him. Is he going to go through the overtake? If we can see some outside footage of these two drivers, that would be beautiful. Here we have some helicopter view of the two racers, which is very beautiful. Vladislav Michelienko trying to stay as close as possible onto the Brooklyn straight. He has the DRS, he has the power, he has the slipstream. Is it going to go through yet? Outside, ladies and gentlemen, he locks up a bit, but no. Jeff Jacobs still managed to stay in front of Vladislav Michelienko. He's coming closer by the turns and seconds. He's only half a second behind Jeff Jacobs. I think we're going to see some overtake done at one of the few turns. They are at the old pit straight. They are coming now onto Kops, which is a long right-hander. Vladislav Mychilienko making a mistake over there and coming along into the curbs. But this is where it's important. Here you can see the difference between the skilled and the talented drivers. Who has the better line, who has the better power distribution, and who has the better braking. Vladislav Mychilienko almost 1.5 seconds behind Jeff Jacobs. Jeff Jacobs is blessed to have... that is Sneaky Panda, ladies and gentlemen. He has just spun round and made contact with... if we could see who that is Hassel Verheyen, ladies and gentlemen. That is Hassel Verheyen. And he's just been overtaken by... Oh my word, they've just been overtaken by Jack Smith. Probably a blue flag for them. Oh my word, there goes Sneaky Panda back into P14. He just braked over there. I think he has a problem with his car, probably a puncture or something of going too much onto the gravel. But he's trying to stay as close as possible. Hassel Verheyen for the driver in front of him. Probably going to see him overtaken done at the end of the Brooklyn straight. Still one turn left into turn 5. He's in the slipstream. He has the DRS. Is he going to go for the overtake at any moment now? Coming closer by the second. There is almost 20 kilometers an hour difference between the drivers. Hassel Verheyen locks up, but he still manages to stay close to him. Is he going to go through the outside of... I've no idea whose name that is, but he still manages... Ruben Martinez, he's trying to stay as close as possible. They are right next to each other as they come along now onto the old Cops straight. Here they go onto the outside, and through the inside goes Ruben Martinez, but he goes onto the curbs right there. They're very close to each other into Magnus and Beckers. You don't want to be in the slipstream with the other driver right there, as you lose a lot of downforce. And probably get a lot of understeer, as you can see with Sneaky Panda before he has the DRS. He has to overtake him right now or never. He goes along through there into Stowe, and he does, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful overtake by Hassel Verheyen and takes P12. But it's not done yet. As we can see, Hassel Verheyen trying to stay as far away as possible from Ruben Martinez, but Ruben Martinez is still not done with him. Behind him is Vladislav Mychilienko has just overtaken Jack Smith, ladies and Jeff Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me. This is probably because we are too busy with the other drivers and did not see the overtake of Jeff Jacobs and Vladislav Mychilienko. But I think it was beautifully done anyway. I think this win will be going to Vladislav Mychilienko because we are very familiar with this league. Once Vladislav Mychilienko gets in front, he will stay there. If you could see the number 10 driver over there coming very close to his mission spin out, ladies and gentlemen, trying to stay closer to Nicolai Lagerfeld, who is in front of him. Only 1.5 seconds off each other in the final stages of the last 4 laps of the race. You can still see that mission spinner is trying their absolute best to stay close to Nicolai Lagerfeld and claim that 9th position. Look at Den Hartog getting also very close to the driver in front of him, but Jeff Jacobs is only within half a second of Vladislav Mychilienko. I think I was wrong with what I said before. Trying to come closer to Vladislav Mychilienko. He's onto the slipstream right now as they come over into the right-hander of Kops. I think we're going to see some overtaking done by the end of Magnus and Beckett. Right, left, and you can see in the background that Jack Smith is also joining into the party, and that is Maxim Badidi, I think it was. No, that's excuse me for that. Back to the Jeff Jacobs and Vladislav Muchlienko moments as they go very hard onto the corners and into the curbs. Into the corners and onto the curbs, excuse me. I'm too excited for this race. Trying to stay as close as possible to him, trying to at least get an overtake done by the end of the old pit straight as they come over into Copse. Is he gonna do it? Oh my word, he's coming very close to Vladislav Muchlienko. He almost hits him. You could almost fit a bloody pillow over there as they come very hard into right and left into Magnus and Beckett. As they exit turn 14 onto Chapel, here they go into the hangar straight. Jack Jacobs gets the DRS, he's getting closer to Vladislav Muchlienko. I think he's going to yield. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does, and he comes through the outside. Is he going to make it? They're side by side, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. He is in front of Vladislav Muchlienko. Jeff Jacobs takes P1 from Vladislav Muchlienko, but Vladislav Muchlienko still not done with him. He still tries to hang on, and ooh, he almost did a tank slapper over there. And Jack Smith is in the mix, ladies and gentlemen, as I predicted. He is close to Vladislav Muchlienko. Coming very hard onto him, and here they go into Abbey as they come into the parabolica of turn 2 at Farm. Very hard right-hander. I think this is the slowest corner of the track right here onto the left-hander. As the drivers go into the first DRS zone of the track. All of them had DRS. I think this is going to be one hell of an overtake right now. Coming close to each other by the second. Is it going to lift? Is he going to yield? No, he does not. But these drivers are still unbelievably close to each other. If we could see some outside footage of Vladislav Muchlienko right between the middle, that would be amazing. And Jeff Jacobs has gone off. Jeff Jacobs has gone off. He has lost it. Probably pressured Vladislav Muchlienko and goes back all the way into P3. That was a back marker overtaking Jeff Jacobs over there. Now the battle is between Jack Smith, the newcomer, and Vladislav Muchlienko as they go into Maggots and Backets. Exiting turn 13 right there. If we could see some outside footage, this would be awesome as they go along now onto the hangar straight. Is he going to go for the overtake? He has DRS. He's going to go for it, ladies and gentlemen. He does, ladies and gentlemen. He has overtaken Vladislav Muchlienko. He has only 2 or 3 laps left of this race, and then he will win the Silverstone Grand Prix. Oh my word. I have never seen it charge through the field like Jack Smith, ladies and gentlemen. What an absolute man this guy is. I think that if he was started at the beginning of this championship, we would see a huge championship battle between Jack Smith and Vladislav Muchlienko. What an unbelievable overtake over there. He is just building his lead and pulling away from Vladislav Muchlienko, ladies and gentlemen. That was unbelievable. That was spot on. Back to Maxim Badidi coming close to his driver in front of him. He has just probably traded place and oh, what a drift, and he still goes on to that. Luca Den Hartog with the initial delivery right there. Still manages to do an absolute amazing tank slapper and stays onto that. That was so cool to see. What a legend, man. As I said, I really hoped into the beginning that he wouldn't screw it up with that initial delivery, and he didn't. He did an unbelievable drift right there. And overtook Nick Klein-Nagelveld like an absolute legend. Jack Smith in the front, still very comfortable and building his lead away of Vladislav Muchlienko. We just heard our race control absolutely losing it as oh, bloody hell, I just lost his name, but he still manages to still stay in front. That was so beautifully done. I think we're going to have a highlight of that in our Instagram. Only 1 lap left of the Silverstone Grand Prix. I have never been as excited as I am right now, ladies and gentlemen. Here we can see Jack Smith coming close to a back marker right there. He has to yield. If we could see Yes, he does, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a blue flag and let the faster drivers through. Back on the Brooklyn straight at the exit of turn 5. He has his DRS open. Over there! Someone has just went off. Who was that? Was that one of the back markers, or was that someone else? Oh my word! If we can see Nicolai Nagelveld coming very close to Maxim Barudi in front of him. He's only between a second of his driver in front of him. But this is the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Their leader is on the final lap. He's on to right now at turn 9 at Cops. Just listen to that engine going through there. Jax, me and Race Control still can't believe how bloody beautiful that overtake was and how that charged through the entire field from the first lap all the way up to the first position. Jack Smith has done in qualifying beautifully, has done in practice beautifully, and has done in the race very beautifully. All this hard work and effort has come to this very moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Smith wins the Silverstone Grand Prix. Vladislav Muchilenko in P2, Jeff Jacobs in P3, Stijn Prinsen, David Beckham in P4, and Stijn Prinsen in P5. You do your donuts, Jack Smith. My applaud to you. That was one of the most absolute baddest races I have ever seen in my life. I would like to inform everyone who is watching, thank you for watching. We'll be going soon to our interviews, but before we do, I would like you to please subscribe to our channel and like this video and share it with as many people as you can. We really appreciate everything you do for us. Follow us on Instagram at Ace Racing League, and we'll keep you up to date with when the next race is. I am so bloody excited that Jack Smith has taken the win from Vladislav Muchilenko. My absolute congratulations. Jack Smith.
Hello.
What an absolute race that was. I am so bloody excited. I was so thrilled to see you going through the entire field like that. So
Yeah, I can't even believe it myself, really. It was just insane. I can't. I got taken out T1. Someone must have tagged me or something. Right down to the back of the field. Down
Yes,
in like P16.
because we had a safety car at the beginning of the race, what happened over there?
So basically, I think it was down to me and this other, I don't know, I'm not sure who it was, someone tagged me and then caused me to spin out. I had a red front wing after that, because I hit someone else as well during spinning. So I had to pit under the safety car.
That was very smart of you.
Yeah, and then fixed the red wing, got some new tyres on, went for it, overtook some people down in the lower ranks. And I pitted again halfway through the race. And then after that, I think Vlad and Jeff, they didn't change tyres. So I just caught up to them like mad near the end of the race and got the win.
Yes, because they didn't pit and you had the fresher rubber.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, that was unbelievably done.
Yeah, I think I beat the quali time, didn't I?
Yeah, you were very good in practice, very good in qualifying as well. But at the very last moment, Vladislav took pole position from you, but you still took the win from him. My absolute congratulations on this win, and I hope you'll have good luck on your next race.
Thanks, man.
Jeff Jacobs, young man, you were also very strong in this race. As we could see from the last race you were in, Vanalunga, you were very strong in this race as well. How are you?
A little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. Last race was okay in qualifying, but then in the race I got a little bit. But then here I practiced a lot for this race. But then later the last week I heard that we were racing on hard tires, so all the practice on medium tires were just gone. So I gave it my everything. Yeah, let the race for a bit. I'm happy, really happy.
You were in P3, you were, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very beautifully done. You were leading the race midway through the race. I never expected that. I was actually expecting Stijn Prince, Vladislav Michelienko, and Jack Smith to actually have a battle of themselves. But you were in the mix as well, and you were very good. I'm very impressed by your racing style.
Yeah, thanks. Well,
Right.
Qualifying was also really close.
Yeah, qualifying was close as well. You were great in
12,000?
practice and qualifying.
But yeah,
Right.
good fun.
Congratulations on your third position. I am very happy for everyone today, as well for you, and good luck with your next race.
Yep, thanks.
Vladislav Michelienko, the man of the hour. What happened?
Well, I don't know how to say it. I was just leading comfortably. I was just checking the pace. Jeff got slowed down by some back markers, and I had just comfortable lead. And then I don't know what happened. I just clipped the grass on the entry of the fast corner before the maggots and Beckett's, or
Cops.
I don't know what it's called. Yeah, on cops, and I just got through into the barrier. So my front
I
wing was
see.
broken, and I was I was losing like 1.5 seconds a lap. So
Oh yes.
that was just
But
painful.
still, you still hung on to have given us a wonderful race. This was one of the, I think I could say, this was one of the most exciting race of the entire season of Ace Racing League.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
was
It was.
amazing. Right, so Vladislav Michelienko, you finished a beautiful P2. Maybe not your best race, but you still did very good. Maybe Lady Luck was on somebody else's side today, but I wish you the very best of luck in this championship, and have a good race next race. Good
Yeah,
luck.
thank you. Thank you.
Gewoon via you. Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our Ace Racing League Silverstone Grand Prix. This has been by far my favorite race to commentate, and I have never been as excited as I am today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and share it with as many people as you can. Like this video and follow us on Instagram at Ace Racing League. Thank you for watching and have a good day.